This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, 2015 NFL MVP Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers take on Alex Smith and the Washington Redskins. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Just a few moments ago, it was the Redskin defense being introduced, and the largest cheers went for their Pro Bowl cornerback, Josh Norman, as he and his guys get set to do battle with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they enter play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. A first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago, 15 carries, 63 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. If you're an Adrian Peterson fan, that's the sign that you want to see right there on the other end. They got to learn to get him down, or this could be a long one.
And it's also the sign that his team wanted to see. Him making that type of a run, having a force and an impact on the game that early, that really demoralizes the defense because they realize it could be a long game trying to get him on the ground.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Back to throw, Smith. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
To throw on second down is Smith. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. From the gun, here's Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Carolina getting set to take the field. Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50. 1st and 10. Now Cam, option left. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Olsen too much. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A little tough on the secondary there. In zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback.
So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
So out now come the Redskins. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
They start the drive with Peterson. A swift move and then tackled just on the other side of midfield. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down, here's a run with Peterson. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Mario Addison. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. This Carolina D was 3rd in the NFL in sacks last year.
And sometimes that surprises people when they hear that, because who's the dominant pass rusher that you think of putting up double-digit sacks? They do it collectively as a unit and get to the quarterback.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Smith. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game. So 2 missed field goals for him now, and that's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Here's Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on 3rd down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
Tackle made there by Mike Adams, a strong safety.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. Room to run past midfield. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll be a Redskin first down as Smith hits Crowder.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Handoff comes to Peterson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 0-0 our score. We'll head back to FedEx Field after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Out of the gun, Smith. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. Jordan Reed has it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Smith. Josh Doxson's got it, complete. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, once more, a strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 right at the 20. From the red zone now, Smith. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith completes it right side to Dodson. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Adrian Peterson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offense coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down. We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
We saw a touchdown, too. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Moore now to return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They go play action here on first down. Rolling to, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jonathan Allen able to drop him for a loss of 4.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And it's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the... Now heavy Redskin pressure, and they block it. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the 2nd quarter. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. From the gun, Smith. This one caught by Crowder. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Smith on 1st down. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Dontari Poe. Getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. Reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. To throw is Smith. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So he missed his first couple hits there and puts his team up by more.
And while it wasn't absolutely crucial at that point, how great is that for his confidence to finally put one through the post?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Moore now on the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. On 2nd down, here's Newton. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Smith. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. On first down, Newton. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I don't think what we just saw there was any surprise, because when Christian McCaffrey came out of Stanford, we knew he was a threat running it and catching it. And any way you can get the ball in his hands, he wanted to do so. Personally, I thought he ran the best routes of anyone coming out of his draft class, and that included the wide receivers.
Last year, 80 receptions, also in the return game. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife, isn't he?
He certainly is. Every which way you want to go, however you want to package him, and I do think his running production will increase in 2018.
Now Newton on first down. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot.
Newton now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Throwing again is Newton. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Jonathan Allen in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin in the NFC South. Tampa Bay paying their yearly visit to Atlanta. And it's the Buccaneers who are out in front in the second quarter. Jameis Winston has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we fly north to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting L.A. Chargers. 2 touchdown passes there for the rookie, Baker Mayfield. Finally, let's get out to the Bay Area, see what's happening with the Raiders at home in Oakland. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Seahawks. Marshawn Lynch has found the end zone there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road, big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On second down, McCaffrey. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Jonathan Allen getting him once again, his third sack of the afternoon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They run again with Peterson. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage and taken down. And a penalty flag is going to come out on top of it.
Offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Defense.
The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that looks like an extra step was involved.
But it's caught on the right side at Smith. They find some open field here. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. To the air again, Newton. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. Third down.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Newton now to throw. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina 1st down.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
Newton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Again, Newton. And to the tight end, Olsen, right side. Great move, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Newton throwing again. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. And Gano's kick is right through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. They try to fire up the run game with Adrian Peterson. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Smith now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Redskins with the football and the lead as we start the 4th. Now a play fake here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. From the gun, here's Smith. Caught on the right side, Reed. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Now Smith. Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And this one complete to Reed. And they're able to pick up the first and keep possession. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
I know we don't like to admit it. We like to appear to be on top of every situation, but there's no way we expected that. They have the lead, and they pull the fake.
Well, I hit you on your leg under the table because I couldn't believe they were doing that. You're right, lead 4th quarter, but I guess they wanted a bigger cushion.
I guess so, but I guess maybe that is the beauty of it because there's no way they could expect it on the other side of the ball as well. They have the lead. They expect them to go ahead and kick it.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Smith now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They give it to Peterson. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Smith. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
The Redskins on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He needed 9, he got 8. And that's going to leave him with a 4th and 1 on their side of the field.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, This intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position. But it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
More now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And this one's incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Now Newton. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Crowder now to return. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
I said 580. I said.
Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now Peterson, not exactly sure what happened there defensively, but he's still down. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
580.
Out of the gun, Smith. Throw left side complete. It's Richardson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a first down. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Around the NFL, fourth quarter right now in Atlanta. And the Falcons have opened up the lead there to a couple of scores. Matt Ryan with one touchdown pass thus far. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They'll hand it down to Geis. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it a 2nd down. So it's in football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Third down, here's Geis. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And this is incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess, and it'll bring up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Back to throw. And this is caught. He hits more. A gain of 13 and also the first down. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
They'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. A nice little juke. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Ryan Kerrigan in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. He'll look to throw. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. call it a gain of 3. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Back to throw. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. Oh, no, he lost the football. Into the Redskins. Have it, they do. And they're not able to convert on 4th down. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on, and that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yeah, the opportunity squashed. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. Only one timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have one timeout left, and that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch, not at all.
They start on the ground with Geis, and he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Redskins, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next week. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.